Right now at 6, the Carthage community meets to plan for the future of its schools.
And we've got a pretty cold start to the day. Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear. It'll remain that way for a while. A look at that forecast to get you out the doors coming up.
Plus, students and staff at a Southeast Kansas high school celebrate 5 years of a scholarship program.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Wednesday, November the 20th, and we are getting closer to Turkey Day.
Yes, we are. How exciting.
That's very exciting. You know, we talk about it. Some folks, even for me, I am from Joplin. My family lives in the Joplin area. Do you know how often I see them through the year?
Oh,
it's
sure
tough.
Only a handful of times. It's difficult.
I mean, they have jobs, we have jobs, we have kids. There are all sorts of things going on. It's so hard. So make some time this Thanksgiving, this holiday season. Make sure you see your family. Try and see them throughout the year, too, when you can.
Absolutely.
Okay? You certainly want to do that. And if you're planning on seeing any family today, bundle up because it's going to be cold, and it already is out there.
Yes.
Quick look outside from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. There's no snow on the ground, so it's one of those things. It doesn't look cold, does it? Looks pretty nice out there, but it is cold, I can assure you. This isn't our camera. This is the MoDOT camera. 20th and Rangeline, also looking good. We've got clear skies across the region, but it's chilly, and it's going to be chilly through the day. The problem we're going to have today is even though we're looking at abundant sunshine across the area, we're going to have gusty west winds pushing 35, maybe 40 miles an hour, so it is not even going to feel like the temperatures we're expecting. Not like they're going to be very warm today by any means. Most of us low to mid 50s as we head into the afternoon and evening hours, and the gusty winds will shift out of the northwest overnight, and they'll continue to increase as we head into they won't increase, they'll decrease a bit tonight and Thursday, but it'll be breezy and colder Thursday. We should talk about that a little later. 38 in Joplin right now, 37 in Pittsburgh and across the area. Now, bear in mind, though, these temperatures are near average for us, so it just feels a lot colder because we haven't had that many really cold days yet this season, and so it feels a lot colder, but we've got mid-upper 30s and even some low 40s sprinkled in out there. So kids getting on the bus this morning, they're going to want that jacket. 38, west winds 5 to 10, but it'll be clear. It'll be clear and breezy later. Those west winds gusting 35, maybe 40 miles an hour, and about 54 when the bus brings them home. Highs today, again, low mid 50s, clear skies, and that'll continue into the evening and overnight. It's going to be pretty chilly tonight. It's going to be colder tomorrow. And then we're going to start the roller coaster ride on the uphill side as we head into the weekend. Details on all that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. The Carthage R9 School District is working on a strategic plan to shape the future of the district's schools, students, and community. Last night, community members, teachers, and district officials gathered in the Carthage Intermediate Center Commons to discuss ideas and potential future plans for the district's operations and facilities. Now, that includes departments like food service, maintenance, transportation, safety, and information technology. The goal is to create a 2030 strategic plan for the entire district and gather community feedback on how to manage rising operational costs and ensure facilities stay up to date while still supporting student learning.
Ultimately, I'd love for everyone to be at these meetings. The entire community has an open invitation to show up. We're hoping for parents, grandparents, we're hoping for business owners, we're hoping for teachers, administrators, churches. We want the whole community. We want a cross-section of everyone to help us build the future of our schools because we're all intertwined.
During the meeting, district officials also tried to measure community support for future bond issues and possible tax levy increases to support daily operations and potentially build a new high school auditorium. Well, it's been 5 years since the launch of the Newscast Promise Scholarship Program. KOAM's Melissa Alexis introduces us to 2 former recipients to see where they are now.
A big weight lifted off your shoulder.
Grace Johnson is a recipient of the Promise Scholarship who was a sophomore at Newscast High School when the scholarship program was first announced.
Knowing that the community is behind you and believes in you, so knowing that they want us to succeed also motivates us to succeed.
Through the help of the scholarship, she's now a nursing student at Pitt State. She says the scholarship opens up doors for students who may otherwise not be able to go to college.
Expanding those opportunities and not having to worry about where am I going to pay for college while I'm in school, and being able to focus more on my education, it allows me to thrive in a way that I might not have been able to without the promise.
Ashley Chandler, a graduate of Newscast High School, says this opportunity has opened the door for students who may be financially insecure and allows them to follow their dreams and achieve their career goals.
Many students in this area are financially insecure, especially when they leave home for the first time. A lot of the times that's the time when students can fall flat, and they get away from home and they run out of money to go to school on, and then what?
The scholarship covers tuition for the students in the Newscast School District to attend either a university, technical college, or a community college. Since the program launched 5 years ago, the scholarship has helped 148 students.
Nothing but pride. It is absolutely phenomenal. As they continue to grow up in their adult life, it's going to give them a leg up as they continue to learn and grow and become successful adults.
To get accepted to the program, applicants need to have a minimum of a 2.0 GPA. Reporting in Newscast, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Now, students need to maintain at least a 2.5 GPA throughout their post-secondary education to maintain the scholarship. Well, a new activity is coming to the Christmas on the Brick celebration in Fort Scott, a synthetic ice skating rink. It's been a community effort to create the rink, with organizers hoping to bring a new draw for the city. Now, the cost to create the synthetic rink and purchase supplies was roughly $50,000. The city of Fort Scott is providing the Gathering Square Pavilion and electricity for the rink, but all funds to purchase the rink and skates was collected by the Fort Scott Chamber of Commerce through fundraising and donations.
We wanted also not only for the people in the community, but a draw for our downtown area. We have such a unique area down here that a lot of people have never seen it before, so hopefully this will draw people in. It'll be good for our retailers, it'll be good for our restaurants, and just for the whole community as a whole.
The kickoff for the rink will be the weekend of Christmas on the Bricks in Fort Scott, which is December 6th. The plan is for the rink to be open each weekend after that through January 5th. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Netflix says the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight was the most streamed sporting event in history. Plus, President-elect Donald Trump has revealed more picks to his incoming administration. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Wednesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from a Buck Run Creek Bridge located in Garland, Kansas. Topping Nation Watch this morning. The Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight was a knockout win for Netflix. Now, according to the platform, the main event attracted more than 108 million live viewers from around the world, and it set a record for the most streamed sporting event in history. The fight topped the English TV list and came in as the most watched title of the week. The fight was #1 in 78 countries and in the top 10 for all 91 countries tracked. Well, a new report shows the number of illegal immigrants crossing the southern border remained low in October. U.S. Border Patrol reports agents arrested more than 56,000 migrants last month. While this was a slight increase from September, the United States continues to see a downward trend in illegal border crossings since June. That's when the Biden administration put in place new asylum restrictions. Customs and Border Protection says agents have encountered on average about 1,800 illegal immigrants each day. The total number of southwest border encounters last month represented a 69% drop from a year ago. Well, the next administration continues to take shape, with President-elect Donald Trump tapping more of his trusted advisors and a well-known TV doctor to fill key roles. Yesterday, the president-elect joined SpaceX CEO Elon Musk at a test launch though there's new scrutiny over their relationship and Musk's billions of dollars in government contracts. Now, meanwhile, Trump says he will not reconsider naming former Congressman Matt Gaetz as his attorney general pick, despite growing controversy. Naomi Ruckham has the latest from New York.
President-elect Donald Trump has revealed more picks to his incoming administration. Among them, transition advisor and billionaire businessman Howard Lutnick for Commerce Secretary. His former small business administrator, Linda McMahon, co-founder of WWE with husband Vince McMahon, to be Secretary of Education. Also TV personality Dr. Mehmet Oz as Trump's choice to lead the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Yesterday in Texas, Trump joined SpaceX CEO Elon Musk, now one of his closest advisors, at the test launch of the company's largest vessel. Musk has been tapped to co-chair Trump's newly created Department of Government Efficiency, though Musk's companies, SpaceX and Tesla, have more than $13 billion in government contracts. Trump was questioned over his controversial choice of former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz to be the next Attorney General.
Are you reconsidering the nomination of Matt Gaetz?
No. But even some members of his own party have expressed doubts that Gaetz can be confirmed by the Senate.
I wouldn't bet my house on it one way or the other.
Today, the House Ethics Committee meets amid calls for it to release its report probing allegations against Gaetz of sexual misconduct, including claims that he had sex with a minor. Gaetz has denied all wrongdoing and says the allegations are a smear. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Now, we have learned that other materials tied to separate investigations of Matt Gaetz were leaked to an unknown third party, including the sworn deposition of the minor at the center of the claims against Gaetz. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we have got a chilly start out there. Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear. You can see any clouds, rain well off to our east into Illinois, and outside of that, we are clear. Our camera 7th and range line looking pretty good this morning with this chilly start to the day, and temperatures not doing a lot of warming, but at least we'll have sunny skies out there. We'll have another full look at your forecast, talking about how cold it's going to be tomorrow and even how the Thanksgiving holiday may be shaping up here in just a few more minutes.
A turkey in Maryland will live another day after he was pardoned from becoming part of Thanksgiving dinner. A group of elementary school students in Baltimore led the charge to save Ted. Lisa Robinson has the story.
Chanting "Save Ted," these elementary school students say he deserves a seat at the table, not served up on a platter.
Word in the kindergarten hallway, Dr. S. They are upset with you. They know that you are still undecided on whether you will pardon Ted.
The school invited Mayor Brandon Scott to help make the final decision. Some fifth graders also helped.
To save Ted, the kids came with arguments and information.
The entire school even signed a petition to save Ted.
I think we should pardon the turkey because they have families and they live on the farm and in the forest.
Jemiah Moore offered turkey facts to help their case.
The female and the male talk differently. Also, turkeys are really large birds. Domestic turkeys are the 8th largest living bird species by weight. Domesticated turkeys have been around for 2,000 years.
During the ceremony, Ted got a little frisky with his friends.
We want to forgive Ted for all of his crimes, all of them, even those that he committed today in front of us all. Everybody, save Ted.
Dr. S. finally made her decision.
I have decided, along with the mayor, that I guess I will have to get another turkey for Thanksgiving because we are going to pardon Ted. We hereby declare that Ted, you are hereby pardoned and saved from Thanksgiving.
Ted can get back to being frisky and live another day.
Well, congratulations to both those students and, of course, Ted. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick look outside. Sunrise looks great this morning. Clear skies, cold temperatures, though. A full look at your forecast is right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:22 on this Wednesday morning. A live look from downtown Pittsburgh, 4th and Broadway, looking back toward the east, toward the sunrise. You can see the windmills out there. Just a beautiful start to the day, at least in terms of sky conditions. Temperatures, on the other hand, not so great. Look at that sunrise, too, from our camera at 7th and Rangeline, looking back to the east. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And I just noticed this there. That probably looked really bad to you folks at home. Some of you are probably like, fix your jacket, and I couldn't hear you, but now I see what we're going on about. All right, into the afternoon we go. We're looking at highs today, low mid-50s across most of the area. We're also going to have west winds gusting 35 to 40 miles an hour. So this is one of those situations, even when it's 40, 50 degrees, when the sun is shining and you're outside in a jacket, as long as the winds are calm, it's usually not that bad. Unfortunately, not going to be the case for us over the next couple of days. We go into the overnight hours, temperatures, again, at or maybe just a little below normal as we go low, mid, and maybe even some upper 30s. I think low to mid 30s, though, will be common as we go overnight tonight. And the winds will continue out of the west, but they'll ease up a bit, gusting 20 to 25. We head into Thursday. By late morning afternoon, winds shift out of the northwest. They'll be gusting back up there at that 25 to 30 mile an hour range. We're also going to struggle a bit to get out of the 40s. So noon today, we're looking to be at least the low 50s. Noon tomorrow, maybe not so much. Low mid 40s out there. Again, northeast Oklahoma, maybe a few degrees warmer, but not significantly so. And I think a good number of us out there tomorrow are going to struggle to get out of the 40s. You may get really close, but you may not necessarily get all the way up into the 50-degree mark as we head into Thursday afternoon. Since it's going to be a little colder Thursday, it's going to be a little colder into Friday morning as well. We're going to see temperatures falling back into the upper 20s, some low 30s. And Friday, we're slow to warm again, but I think a few more of us are going to make it back up to at least the low 50s, and I mean like 51, 52. Then as we go overnight Friday into Saturday, it's another cold night, but take a look before the future track runs out of data here. The winds begin to shift out of the south as we go into Saturday morning, and that's going to lead to slightly warmer temperatures for us. Details here in just a moment. First, though, it is 38 in Joplin. Feels like 33 with the west-southwest breeze at 6 miles an hour and across the region. Temperatures cold, but this is close to where we should be. Some of us even a little above normal. It feels really cold because we haven't had a lot of cold days so far this season, at least not yet. And of course that will change over the next several weeks and you get into December. Anyway, we're sitting mid upper 30s, even some low 40s out there this morning. Getting our day started, 40 to start, clear skies, 51 by 11 o'clock. And of course the winds will be picking up out there. We'll be chilly again tomorrow. The roller coaster, we're here. We're going to dive down, and then we're going to start to come right back up into the weekend, near 70 by Monday, with another system that's going to bring us some rain chances and cooler air. And then we're keeping a very close eye. Now, keep in mind, we were keeping a close eye on today about a week ago. Things change. We're keeping an eye Wednesday, Thursday next week, heading into Thanksgiving. We're looking at very cold temperatures, highs only into the 40s, lows into the 20s. And with those rain chances, we could see some light snow. Not something significant at this point, but a lot can change between now and then. And of course, we'll keep you updated as we get closer to the holiday. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Lisa now with Health Watch.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, doing more cardio doesn't just help your heart, it also helps your brain. A study by the British Journal of Sports Medicine found people with better cardiorespiratory fitness had improved cognitive function over time, and it lowered the risk for dementia. The study authors say it even helped people genetically predisposed to dementia. About 1 in 10 adults has high cholesterol. That's the findings of a new report by the CDC. The study found men and women aged 40 and older are at the greatest risk. Now, the study also found that rates of high cholesterol actually dropped from in the early 2000s, but for the last 10 years, they've stayed about the same. Some doctors may be relying on AI too heavily. A study in the journal Radiology asked radiologists to analyze x-rays with the help of artificial intelligence. Some doctors trusted the AI's diagnosis even when it was wrong. Now, the study's authors say there's a danger of over-relying on AI, and doctors need to remember it's not always right. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, Joplin invites the public to weigh in on some transportation projects.
And we've got ourselves a chilly start to the day. It's going to be cool out there, but it looks nice. Look at that forecast to get you out the doors coming up.
Plus, the Gorillas bring some international flavor to the campus of PSU with a tea tasting event.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:29. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Wednesday, November the 20th, and we're getting closer to the end of this month, closer to Thanksgiving. And of course, for those who have some shopping to do, we're getting closer to Christmas as well.
Exciting times.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. It certainly is. The kids, I said, they're already making their lists of what they want. So, and then Amber will send me what she wants. She usually messages me on Facebook.
Oh, really now?
She finds stuff. Because I shop in person. She'll do a lot of online shopping. I go to the stores. That's why I really miss Sears, because Sears had it set for men. You would walk in from the mall entrance and they had this L-shaped area of gift sets and women's gifts, and every year I would go there, there's all these husbands. We're all gathered around these tables to find what we're looking for because they put it in one spot for us. So I do miss that, but we'll get some holiday shopping done. Still got time for that, and we've got time to tell you how cold it is, because if you haven't been outside yet, it is cold. Let's start to look outside though. From downtown Pittsburgh, sunrise looks absolutely beautiful this morning. Temperatures don't look as beautiful, but that's all right. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline in Joplin looking pretty good as well. Future track into this afternoon. See how fast these windows are moving? Yeah, it's going to be breezy today. West winds gusting upwards of 35, maybe even 40. So even though it's going to be sunny and into the low to mid 50s, it's going to feel colder than that as we head through the afternoon, evening, and overnight, because the winds will not let up this evening or into the overnight or Thursday, and Thursday will be even colder than today, which we'll get to that a little later. First, though, 38 Joplin, and we're sitting at 37 in Pittsburgh, and across the region, temperatures, they look like this. They look cold, but they look close to average. Some of us even still technically above normal out there. We've got mid-upper 30s and even some low 40s. Kids get on the bus this morning, grab that coat, and they're going to hold on to it. Upper 30s out there, west wind 5 to 10. That wind starts to increase, starts gusting 35, maybe 40 later. Still sunny, 54 when that bus comes home, and that's where we're headed, is to the low to mid 50s for most of us for our highs. Clear skies through the afternoon and into the evening hours. And as I mentioned, it's going to be even colder tomorrow than it is today. And then our roller coaster starts the upward trend heading into the weekend. Details on all that in the full forecast a little later. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Well, Miami residents will temporarily need to find a new spot for health care. Yesterday, Integris Health Miami Express Care announced a temporary closure due to low staffing. The clinic says it currently has only one provider working the Miami office, but they're looking for a second. And the city of Joplin wants to hear from the community about its public transportation programs. Now, the Joplin Area Transportation Study Organization, or JATSO, seeks a 7-day public comment period for transportation and transit projects that are partially funded by federal programs over a 4-year period. Up for proposal is one project modification and also adding 2 projects. The public comment period runs through Wednesday, November 27th at noon. For more information, head over to KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, the staff at Freeman Health System in Joplin wants to educate the public about the dangers of lung cancer. This is Lung Cancer Awareness Month, and not only do they stress the importance of early detection, but the role CT scans can play toward that end.
Only 8% of eligible people who are candidates for low-dose CT scans actually get the CT scans performed. And it's really important to get them done because when a person does find a nodule and it happens to be cancerous, at least 65% of the time it's going to be a localized cancer that is fully curable.
Dr. Slocum also says those scans can be especially important for smokers and former smokers. Well, PSU is joining universities across the country to celebrate International Education Week. This annual celebration, a joint initiative of the U.S. Departments of State and Education, aims to promote programs that prepare Americans for a global environment while attracting future leaders from around the world to study, learn, and exchange experiences. One area where students found common ground, tea.
Tea is a very universal drink that everyone could try to like sometimes. It's not for everybody, but it's one of those that it has many different tastes, flavors that can fit many different profiles, and it's kind of one of those universal things that has a footing in almost every culture.
Currently, nearly 300 international students are enrolled at Pitt State and represent 50 countries. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. More package deliveries means more opportunities for porch pirates. We'll have some tips on how to protect against lost items. And we have a chilly and windy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Sky Watch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from the Buck Run Creek Bridge located in Garland, Kansas. In Consumer Watch this morning, well, 'tis the season for holiday packages and for craftier porch pirates. Millions of packages will arrive on doorsteps around the country between now and the end of December. And if a package is swiped, a refund or replacement isn't guaranteed. Karen Kaifa is in Washington with a look at how to protect your packages.
Americans will ring up more than $240.8 billion in online sales this holiday season, according to Adobe Analytics, with most purchases slated for home delivery and providing more opportunity for porch pirates.
Now's the time to be a lot more vigilant.
CNET Money editor Daisha Milden says protecting packages can begin before items leave the warehouse by choosing options like package tracking notifications or requiring a signature for delivery and purchasing with a credit card that offers a refund or replacement in the event of theft.
Go ahead and check with your credit card issuer and see, do I have purchase protection? What are the limitations in case something like this does happen? It's better to be proactive in this case rather than reactive.
For households using a doorbell camera, Milden says a small upgrade for extra recording capability around the holiday rush can help.
If you don't have storage availability or recording, definitely see if that's something you can add on. Usually just log online and pay that fee.
Consumers might want to consider in-store pickup for online orders or have packages delivered to pickup locations to reduce risks. And in the spirit of the season, Milden also suggests reaching out to neighbors to help keep an eye out for your packages and theirs. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
The FDA is warning that Tom's of Maine toothpaste was manufactured in a facility with water containing bacteria. The FDA also says during its inspection last May, it found a black mold-like substance in the factory. The agency said 2 products contain 2 different types of bacteria that could cause infections in the blood, lungs, and digestive system. Tom's of Maine, which is owned by Colgate-Palmolive, says it's working with the FDA to remedy the issues. Well, private equity firm Blackstone is acquiring sandwich chain Jersey Mike's in a deal worth $8 billion, according to the Associated Press. Now, in a statement, Blackstone says the partnership is meant to accelerate the chain's expansion in the U.S. and beyond. There are now more than 2,800 Jersey Mike's locations in the U.S., according to the company's website. And Delta wants its passengers to keep climbing for something good with its new partnership with Shake Shack. Starting December 1st, travelers can order Shake Shack meals for their flights out of Boston. However, the deal is only available to first-class passengers on routes longer than 900 miles, and meals must be pre-selected ahead of takeoff. Well, a Minneapolis man says thieves borrowed his car from his apartment's garage even though he had the key. He believes it's part of a trend of keyless vehicle thefts. Jason Ranella explains how it works.
I've heard of the Hyundais, the Kia, that sort of thing happening. That's a known issue. This was something I never expected.
Andy says he left his Volkswagen Taos inside his apartment garage Saturday night before going out to dinner that evening. The following morning, he says his garage door opener was missing from his car.
My seatbelt was buckled even though there was nobody in it in the driver's side, and then I saw that my middle console had been rifled through.
Andy checked his VW car app. It showed his car had been driven 63 miles between the hours of 5 p.m. and 2 a.m.
2:21 a.m. is when they returned it. My doors were locked. I didn't know how they could get through.
While police are still investigating, Andy went to social media for answers.
People told me that it had been happening to them or they'd heard of that happening.
What Andy believes happened is what experts say is part of a growing trend of keyless vehicle thefts. How it works is thieves capture radio signals from your key fob using a device that grabs that fob's signal. That signal can be stored and reused. Experts say there are a few ways to protect your vehicle. Store your fob away from glass doors and windows. You can also buy a radio frequency blocking box or pouch to store your fob. Andy bought this pouch on Amazon and says he'll soon get the frequency of his key changed at a VW dealership.
You're the first person that I've talked to who's responded to anything that I've done. So
adding to his frustrations, Andy says he's getting the runaround.
I'll reach out if we can look for something, for if somebody's going to investigate it or not. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Minneapolis police, they don't even know if they're going to investigate it at all because of manpower. That's frustrating to me. I want this to never happen again.
Says he's keeping his car in another location because the thieves have his garage opener. He's also waiting to see the surveillance footage from his apartment, and he's hoping it shows the theft. And that's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we are starting with a look outside from downtown Pittsburgh, looking back toward the sunrise. A beautiful start to the day for sure, at least in the sky. Temperatures down here, though, a little bit on the cold side. MoDOT camera 20th at Rangeline in Joplin, also looking pretty good as the sun comes on up this morning. Future track into this afternoon. Winds are going to increase out of the west, gusting 35, maybe even 40 miles an hour. So this is one of those situations where, even when it's 50, even 40 degrees, if the sun is shining, the wind is calm, and you're bundled up, you actually feel pretty okay. It's a little warmer, but that's not going to be the case. We're going to have that wind cutting right through you as we head into the afternoon today. But otherwise, at least sunny skies, and the gusty winds will continue through the evening and overnight hours, and they continue into our Thursday as well. Quick check of those temperatures: 38 in Joplin, 37 in Pittsburgh. And as we look at temperatures across the area, many of us, believe it or not, even though it feels really cold out there, are above normal right now. We've got mid-upper 30s and even some low 40s out there, and we should be just a pinch cooler than that in some spots. Kids getting on the bus this morning, grab the coat. Grab that coat and hold on to it too. We're going to go into the upper 30s when the bus picks them up. West winds 5 to 10. When that bus comes back and drops them off, 54, still clear. But again, west winds sustained 15 to 20 and gusts 35, maybe 40 miles an hour. So definitely hold on to the hat, hold on to the jacket. It's going to be cold and breezy today. We're going to have another full look at your forecast, talk about the roller coaster ride into the weekend and something we're watching around Thanksgiving. So if you haven't joined us, you're going to see what we're talking about here in just a moment. We're also going to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries because that's always a fun time. But first, you know what's even more exciting? We're going to check in with New York City and see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Gail King. Here's what's coming up on CBS Mornings. Anthony Mason sits down with the great Paul Simon for a very personal conversation about his recent hearing loss. And Gladiator 2 star, that's Paul Mescal, will be with us live in studio as Gladiator Week continues. That's coming right up on CBS Mornings.
All right, time for some Wednesday birthdays in the 4 states, and we're going to start in Columbus with Wiley Evans celebrating birthday number 16. Happy birthday.
And happy birthday to Jesse Lowe, turning 27 today in Humboldt.
And in Fort Scott, Nick Russell celebrating birthday number 36 with love coming from the Cutlers.
And in Lamar, a happy 74th birthday to Kathy Rogers. It says, happy birthday from your bulldog buddy, Leanne.
And in Humboldt, Lauren Court celebrating birthday number 80 today. Happy birthday.
And Terry and Marjorie Tyree are celebrating their 53rd anniversary today over in Monkey Island, Oklahoma. It says, from your family.
And in Girard, Gary Valley celebrating another year wiser. Very happy birthday to you, Gary.
And in McCune, a happy birthday to Kaylee Tannehill.
And our very own Christina Valdez celebrating another year wiser. Of course, she's our content host here. You see her doing all those business specials and cool things like that. So, Christina, we certainly hope you have an awesome birthday and a fantastic weekend, because that's just around the corner.
Absolutely. And continuing our list with a happy birthday to Casina Babbles in Pittsburgh, celebrating birthday number 11. It says, love, Mom.
And in Fort Scott, Connie Tippy celebrating birthday number 75. Happy birthday.
And back in Pittsburgh, a happy 43rd anniversary to Jim and Frances Pyle.
And in Lawton, Kansas, Adam York celebrating another year wiser. And of course, that was a fantastic list of birthdays and anniversaries. If you would like to participate with us, though, Elise has the information that you need.
Yes, I do. Go ahead and submit those birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays at KOAMNewsNow.com. Be sure to include those wonderful photos, messages to meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen, and to also include the date of your celebration when submitting as well.
Absolutely want to include that information. I've heard, when you shout or use a megaphone or something, it emphasizes the importance of what you're saying. So, and also, now my dad used to do this to me, because for many of you who may not know, I worked in news when I was in high school, and that was many years ago, and then I came back. So doing this all the time, you are often speaking louder than a normal person would, and then I get home and I see the kids and stuff. I'm like, hey guys, what are you doing? And then they come out, why are you yelling? I'm like, it's just, I spend 3.5 hours a day talking like this. So it's tough. It's tough. And it's going to be tough for me to leave this building, because right now it's warm and toasty in here. It is not warm and toasty outside, even though it looks nice. That's our camera. Downtown Pittsburgh does look great. Our camera 7th and range line also looks pretty good. Skies are clear. The sun is making its way up into the sky, and it will not be bringing us a lot of warmth, but it will at least bring us temperatures that aren't going to be too cold. We're going to go in the low mid 50s out there. So here's the other problem we're going to face, though, is even though we're going to be in the low 50s now, on a day where the wind isn't so bad, a light jacket, plentiful sunshine, 50's not that bad. Unfortunately, we're going to have those west winds gusting upwards of 35 to 40 miles an hour at times. So it is going to feel cold no matter how much sunshine we get, and it will remain windy as we go overnight tonight and into our Thursday. And by Thursday, winds will start to shift out of the northwest, and they'll be gusting upwards of about 30 miles an hour, and that'll be the case also overnight tonight. And take a look, we're going to be starting in the 30s once again for our Thursday. However, we're going to struggle a bit to warm up. Look at noon tomorrow. Noon today, we're looking low 50s. Noon tomorrow, low mid upper 40s. Friends in Northeast Oklahoma, you guys may be a few degrees warmer than the rest of us, but it's going to be chilly, and I think a number of locations tomorrow are going to have a hard time even getting out of the 40s on Thursday. So do keep that in mind. It's going to be chilly. Now, of course, it's going to be a little cooler during the day. So what happens overnight? Well, it gets even cooler overnight. We're looking at a few more upper 20s and then low 30s before we have a gradual warm up on our Friday. Now, initially, it's a slow warm up. We've got a lot of low mid 40s again by noon on Friday, but I think we'll see a few more low 50s, but not much more than that, maybe 51, 52 as we head into Friday afternoon. Now, Future Track runs out of data at 1 a.m., but this is a good pause point, because look what's happening Friday night into Saturday. The winds begin to shift out of the south, and that's going to lead to a bit of a warm up as we head into the weekend. Right now, though, it is not warm. 38 in Joplin, feels like 33 with a west-southwest breeze at 6 across the area. Temperatures close to normal. Believe it or not, some of it's even above normal. Just feels really cold because it hasn't been super cold yet this season. I'm sure it'll be coming, though. But take a look. We've got mid-upper 30s and some low 40s out there. As we get our morning underway, we're going to start at about 40 at 8. Clear skies out there and make it to around 51 by 11 o'clock this morning. We're going to have another look at your forecast as well as the news you need to know here in just a moment. And when we transition over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., we're going to learn some tips on how you can keep your Christmas tree looking healthy this holiday season.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. The Carthage R9 school district is working on a strategic plan to shape the future of the district's schools, students, and community. The goal is to create a 2030 strategic plan for the entire district and gather community feedback on how to manage rising operational costs and ensure facilities stay up to date while still supporting student learning. Miami residents will temporarily need to find a new spot for health care. Integra's Health Miami Express Care announced yesterday a temporary closure due to low staffing. The clinic says it currently has only one provider working in the Miami office, but they're looking for a second. The city of Joplin wants to hear from the community about its public transportation programs. Now, for proposal is one project modification and also adding 2 projects. The public comment period runs through Wednesday, November 27th at noon. For more information, head to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And that's check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And grab that coat as you head out the door. We're in the 30s for most of us now. We'll be low mid 50s later today, and we'll have that west wind gusting 35 to 40 miles an hour. Winds will still be gusting tonight, but down to about 25 to 30 miles an hour. Clear skies continue, 40 by 10. Lows for most of us back into the low to mid 30s. Cooler on our Thursday, still breezy. Northwest winds gusting to 30, upper 40s, upper 20s overnight. And we start warming up into the weekend, back into the low 60s and even upper 60s by Monday. Another system comes in. Now this one we're watching again as our temperatures are expected to fall pretty significantly heading into Thanksgiving. So we're talking 20s for lows, 40s, low 40s for highs. And with rain chances, that does mean there's the possibility of maybe some snow. But we're still several days out, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. Don't cancel your Thanksgiving yet. Just be prepared.
Alrighty. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making buttery Pilgrim biscuits in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Your morning news continues on KOM with CBS Mornings. Are you tired and frustrated with crowded gates getting on your flight? Well, next on CBS Mornings, go behind the scenes to see how one airline is making the boarding process easier for everyone just in time for the holiday travel rush.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Nate Hackney joins us in the studio to talk about the Liberty Utilities annual Liberty Christmas Elves.
And Sherry Nelson also joins us in the studio for another Wildcat Wednesday. However, the station left a megaphone in the lobby, and I've realized I now know how to operate it. That could be a problem. We will see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.